You have failed again, I see. But through suffering, you will grow strong. Isn't that what you want?
Who is Sephiroth? What is his true goal? Furthermore, what is his favorite food? His favorite music? Favorite hobby? What does he think about when he's trying to sleep? They are all very important questions that even appear in our minds as we are taking showers. No? Does that only happen to me? Fair enough. But I'm sure you want to know about some of them, or at the very least, one of them. Before we do a deep, but not too deep, dive into the character of Sephiroth and try to understand his true goals and motives for the upcoming sequels, I must first warn you about the spoilers from the original FF7, Crisis Core, the movie Advent Children, Remake, and Rebirth as well. I mean the FF7 Rebirth trailers, of course, because the game is not out yet, or maybe already is, depending when you are watching this. But enough said, you have been warned. From now on, we are going into the land where spoilers roam around without a care in the world. So, going back to our main questions. Who is Sephiroth? And what the hell does he really want? First, we must know a little bit about who he is. I'll take no more than 7 seconds to explain. See, more than enough time to explain, even if no one could understand anything. And now that we are
Familiarized.
Thank you, that's right. Familiarized with them, we'll jump to some of his moments and try to dissect his intentions and reasons. From there we will make a conclusion and predict his future outcome. Bear in mind, we will only focus on the OG FF7 and Remake to understand his intentions, mainly. So, let's go back to the time where this all started, the Nibelheim flashback. Here we see our handsome, and soon to become crazy mass murderer, soldier first class Sephiroth, the strongest man in the world, accompanied by the also soldier first class Cloud Strife, and some Shinra soldiers that have no plot relevancy in this story, absolutely none. The first thing that I want you to pay attention to is how Sephiroth is pointing out for the fact that Cloud is back at his hometown, and he's curious to know how Cloud feels to be able to see his family and friends again. Because even if Sephiroth has a home, it certainly does not feel like one to him. He never considered it to be one, in fact. Following that, Cloud asks about Sephiroth's parents. He replies about only knowing the name of his mother, Jenova. And when it came to his father, he stops himself and starts laughing. With this, we can see a void in Sephiroth's heart. Nor ever been exposed to a motherly and or a fatherly love, or someone who looked after him like he was their little brother. While growing up, it's very tough, unimaginably so. This is not good for anyone, and as you will see, it wasn't. Also, he does not know where he belongs. That is a question that has tormented him for a while. Where do I belong? And so, we go to the next scene, the realization of who he is. After entering the Mako reactor in the mountains of Nibelheim to investigate whatever was wrong with it, Cloud finds a Sephiroth shaking his head while staring at a familiar word above the main door. Jenova. This can't be. It must be some mistake, some coincidence, right? There's no way. He brushes it off and ignores it as soon as Cloud talks to him, and goes to inspect the malfunction that they were sent there to resolve, which they do. But then, curiosity gets the better of him. Why did it break? What is inside these capsules? Well, he takes a peek at one of them. After, he arrives at a conclusion, to which he starts to explain it to Cloud. Cloud then also looks at the window to see what's inside. What the hell is that? Is it a human? Is it a monster? Yes, it's a monster. They are explaining it right now through dialogue. But wait, what are you doing, Cloud? If you make that observation to Sephiroth right now, you will do a complete 180 in his head. Ah, too late. You just broke his world. Nice work, Cloud. From there, we know where things go. Sephiroth isolates himself and does research about the being known as Jenova that came from outer space 2000 years ago, and some other things in between. What matters is the conclusion that Sephiroth arrives after reading all those books below Shinra Mansion. This conclusion makes him believe that he can now answer his question. Not only that, but he can now finally experience this so-called love that everyone around him has had except for him. No, it was denied of him. Those Shinra bastards.
They dare get between me and my mother so that we wouldn't be together and reclaim this planet. That, for a fact,
Is my birthright. Together, we will reclaim our world.
Growing up in Shinra HQ, the only thing that he was there for was to execute their orders. That is why he was created in the first place, to be the strongest and to obey without question. And the ones that tried to be in soldier wanted to be just like him, and I quote,
I'm gonna be a soldier. The best of the best, like Sephiroth.
end quote. But in this moment of his identity crisis, such things began to be meaningless, since now he no longer considered himself a human, but a monster. But not just any monster, he was the monster. And so it was time to show it to the world, starting with Nibelheim, and then the rest. But that did not end up happening, and the mother he longed for was just trying to use him, just like as he had been in his entire life, which he eventually manages to control over. Or it's always battling for control, it's hard to say. What it matters is that his previous answered question comes back yet again, at the end of his life. Where do I belong? One thing to note before we delve into the last scene is that Sephiroth, since his first death, has been rejecting the livestream. With sheer willpower, he keeps himself together and is able to return again and again. Cloud does become a centerpiece for Sephiroth to be able to keep coming back, but I'm not here to explain that. With that said, after the events of Advent Children, Sephiroth is able to, yet again, not die. Damn, this guy just doesn't die. And somehow, through the livestream, he goes back in time and Remake happens. And at the end of it, the first piece of his plan is complete, when the FF7 team is able to defeat Destiny and liberates the planet's predetermined fate. Now it's time to reveal Sephiroth's goal, and I'm gonna show it to you. This is not even a dialogue or anything of the sort, just a cutscene of the ultimate attack from Sephiroth's godly form at the end of OG FF7. It starts off with the summoning of a gigantic meteor from outside of the solar system, which then, as it approaches Gaia, it destroys every planet it comes across. No, it intentionally targets them. Alright, not all of them, but some of them. Otherwise the cutscene would be even longer than already is. Until finally, it is time to reach Gaia, and everyone from there is going to... Oh, never mind. The meteor is not going to hit them in the end. I guess Sephiroth is not such a... Psych! You thought you were safe? Good. Cause the reason why the meteor didn't hit the planet they are in, it was because it was going for the sun this whole time, to ensure absolute destruction. It begins with you being very worried where this is going, as the threat approaches, little by little, only for it to dissipate for a mere moment, giving you a false sense of security. Then bam, it's over. All of it just to mess with you. That is who Sephiroth is. But there's more to this, as he says at the end of Remake.
Our world will become a part of it. One day. But I will not end. Nor will I have you end.
He straight up says that he will not end, nor will he have Cloud end. We can conclude two things from this. First, he has no intentions of dying. No, that's not right. He knows that he will not end. And he will not allow Cloud to end. He has every intention to make sure that doesn't happen. And the second, kinda already said it just now, but it's Cloud not dying. Wait, let me rephrase that. Sephiroth wants Cloud by his side, not romantically, let's be serious for a moment. Sephiroth's plan for the near and long future includes Cloud to be with him. Pause. He even asks him,
Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, that he obviously is trying to manipulate him to do his bidding. There's no way Sephiroth turned a new leaf and he's now a good person. Of course, I never said he was. In what way does Sephiroth wanting Cloud, and only Cloud, by his side make him a good person? In what state of mind does he want him? Did it confirm that he would stop killing anyone after this? That he would make the effort to make amends for what he did before? No, not at all. The words he says here are his sincere thoughts, I believe. Perhaps after everything they have gone through together, Cloud is the person who can understand him better than anyone else. If Sephiroth is successful doing this at some point in the future, where does it leave him? Will he keep spreading endless despair forever and ever across time and space? What can be done? Well, this is related to the end of this story, which we will see in part 3. It is actually what he desires and needs the most, even if he has never realized it. What he needs is to let it go. Let go of the hatred and everything else that makes him despise the world. This can be achieved if, at the end of part 3, Sephiroth and Cloud being together in that mind space edge of creation stuff whatever, but this time Zack is also there, and Angel and Genesis as well, or at least mention or assume that they have been remembered by Sephiroth. Only then he might let it go, so he can be free from all of it. Will this happen? We'll have to wait and see. I don't see him stopping from doing what he's doing, unless he himself decides to stop. But for now, that is all I have to say. I would like to thank you for being here and watching this video until now, even agreeing or not agreeing with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have enjoyed yourself, and as a handsome guy once said,
I'm waiting, Cloud.